What's up, y'all? Kirk here, and welcome to the Geek Effect. 2022 has been an absolutely amazing year for the channel. This year we were able to reach 1,000 subscribers and also 1,000 followers over on Instagram. It's been truly phenomenal to see this whole process of growth happen for the channel and for Instagram as well. And just being able to grow with you guys too. I really do thank you guys for all your support this year. And not just that, but it's been an amazing year for the action figure community in general. I mean, this year we got to see some pretty cool releases. I think for me, one of my favorite releases we saw was the Wave 2 for retro card Spider-Man figures from Marvel Legends. That was definitely a really exciting time earlier this year. And then just a bunch of other stuff from different toy lines like Mafex, Mezco, Hot Toys, and many more that a lot of us were able to get a kick out of. And there was definitely at least one thing that each of us were truly excited for this year. Not just that though, but we also got to see some pretty cool experiences within the community itself, whether it be going to Comic Cons and seeing all those reveals there in person for the first time, and also being able to just hang out with friends, even when it comes to community live streams from people like Toying Around, Unparalleled Universe, Toy Migos, Dan Who, and many, many more. It's just an awesome time to be alive as a collector, and even for someone like myself, who this is my first full year here within the community, it was a pretty awesome time, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that in the coming years, especially going into 2023. Taking all of this into consideration though, I wanted to come up with a way to wrap things up for 2022 and the Geek Effect, as well as just being able to celebrate with you all here on the channel, and just being able to say thank you as well for all of your support this year. And at first I was thinking maybe do a top 10 video on my favorite figures that I picked up this year, and that would be nice, but that's something I could always do at any point in time, to be honest, and just kind of have like a flashback video. So instead, I wanted to do something that would be a bit more special and memorable, not just for me, but for everyone watching this video right now. So instead, what I ended up doing was gathering a few people for us all to come together and share our favorite figures of 2022, or maybe different lines that we enjoyed throughout this year, and just being able to have fun with it. This video is going to be a bit lengthy, so do grab your popcorn, sit back, relax, and welcome to the first ever Figure Rewind. Now, throughout this year, I've been able to unbox and review some of 2022's figure releases, and there have been a lot of awesome figures that we got this year. We got things like NECA's Usagi Yojimbo from TMNT, which is a phenomenal figure, and I highly recommend picking that up if you have the chance. We also got the retro card suit for Symbiote Spider-Man earlier this year with Marvel Legends, which that figure was actually my pocket figure for quite some time until now, due to my choice that I have for this video. And then we also saw things like the Alex Ross suit for Iron Man as well, which that thing is really an awesome figure, and definitely one that I would recommend, especially if you're into Iron Man. The design of it is just stellar, and I didn't get a chance to review it, but I will plan on doing that at some point in the future going into 2023. After all of this thought and process in regards to my favorite pick, mine is going to be the Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. This was a figure that I got to review recently here on the channel and got to unbox and mess around with, and it's truly awesome. It was definitely one of my most anticipated figures of this year, and it really did meet all my expectations in my opinion in terms of articulation and just the overall design and the detail of this thing. I mean, it's been a while since they made this style suit for Spidey as an action figure, the first time being with Toy Biz, and Marvel Legends going back to do this especially for the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man was a nice treat in my opinion. I also got to do a bit of modding to this figure with the butterfly joints just to maximize the articulation for posing and stuff like that, thanks to Nico Hodge's tutorial. That was something I did make mention of in the review video that I would do, and it turned out pretty well, and now I'm having even more fun with this thing. And it also ended up stealing the spot of pocket figure when it came to symbiote suit Spider-Man, because it's just a lot of fun, and plus it's also really easy to carry this thing around and just take some fun photos of it, pose it, and just have a blast. And I definitely recommend getting this one in your collection if you do have the chance, because it's not one to be slept on. But that's enough of my favorite figure for 2022. Let's go ahead and see what everyone else's favorite.
What's up guys, Sal here from the SOS Hunters YouTube channel. So wanted to tap in with the Geek Effect. What a pleasure it is to be on here. This is the figure rewind of 2022. So I'm super happy to be here. So my favorite figure of 2022 is a very recent pickup actually. The Maniacal Fit Vegeta. It's like the blue evolution, but they call it deep blue. Man, this figure was sick. The packaging is sick. Here's a look at the back. It sucks the box came a little bit dented, but you know I'm not a really big box guy, so that's cool with me. It comes with this super sick aura effect, so I mean when you buy a Tamashi aura, it's already like $20 right there. So the fact that it comes with the figure, that is awesome. I think my favorite part about it was the head sculpt though. The metallic blue on the head sculpt was awesome. The hair was perfect. I rewatched the scene recently, that scene when Goku and Vegeta obviously power up together, and Vegeta ascends to his blue ascended form, evolution form, and gives goosebumps every time. And then the best part about it was only $55. On top of that, the quality is very nice. I do have some other DF figures that are not up to the standard of figure arts yet. Like, they do feel a little clunky, a little stiff, but this one is the closest it's felt to the real deal. Well, make sure you guys subscribe to the Geek Effect YouTube channel. Show him love. His videos are quality, I'm telling you. I look forward to his content in 2023, as well as everyone else in this video, and I appreciate you guys watching. You can find us on SHF Hunters on all our accounts, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later, guys.
What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review. Wait, that's definitely not what we're doing today. Today we're doing something very special, guys. Today we're going to be showing off my favorite figure of the year. That's right. Today we're going to be taking another look at the brand new-ish Mattel Jurassic Park Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, problems with this figure? There are none. I'm just telling you that right now. There are none. This figure is action figure perfection in my eyes. From the tip of the tail to the curve of the snout. I love everything this figure's got going on for it. From the articulation, the amazing paint, the sheer size of him. I mean, come on, guys. You know my channel. You know I love Zombie Cap, right? He eats Zombie Cap. Come on now. You already know that that's a badass figure if he can eat that figure and be able to still stand straight. So yeah, I just have to say that this is such a fun figure to play around with. You would expect that with the T-Rex this size, I mean, you got a pretty damn big head, that it would not be as articulated as it is, but everything down to the ankles, to the knees is beautifully done and really well executed. I mean, just how badass is that, guys? You can't get any better than this figure here. But, you know, there's some great figures on this list from what I'm hearing, so I do got some competition, but this is an awesome figure, and it's definitely my favorite figure of the year, by far. Thanks to the Geek Effect for allowing me to showcase this amazing figure and for having me on your channel at all in the first place. So really do appreciate it, brother, and I can't wait to do more stuff like this in the future.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Art G here. I'm on the Geek Effect, here to show you one of my favorite figures of 2022. I am on this huge Mythic Legions kick right now, and I am here to show you one of them, and this is Adhaith. This is the Unknown One. What an amazing figure. Now, this was on a Legions Con exclusive, so if you attended Legions Con of 2022 over in New Jersey, this was available on day one, but it became available elsewhere as well as the Legion shop. So it was easily obtainable for most, but this is an amazing looking figure. The details on this knight is unbelievable. Take a look at the wings. He's got these amazing axe weapons right here. This whole color scheme is kind of like a rust brown color. He's got some soft goods underneath here. Amazing looking figure. And of course, with any Mythic Legions, they are completely modular, so you can change things up a bit, remove some pieces of armor, make it as your own, as anyone would want to, because you can always paint anything on here and make it as you see fit. But this is actually one of my favorite figures of 2022.
Hey there, I'm Jason Young, also known as WorkMoreOrLess, and I'm excited to share my favorite figure of 2022 with you right here on the Geek Effect. So there were a lot of figures to choose from, and at the end of the year I've got about 10 that are my favorite, but I did force myself to choose just one, and that one figure is Super 7's Ultimates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Muckman and Joe Eyeball. As part of Wave 4 of the TMNT Ultimates line, Muckman and Joe Eyeball have been one of my most highly anticipated figures since their reveal. Now, as we've come to expect, these figures are well secured in a box with slipcover and packed in a brown shipper. The package design, although repetitive across this series, is beautiful in its simplicity and sits nicely on the shelf. Super 7 does an excellent job in translating the designs of the original figures into their own modern interpretations in a much larger scale. As a kid, I loved playing with the original Ninja Turtle Playmates figures, with Muckman being one of my favorites. Muckman is easily one of the largest figures in the Ninja Turtles Ultimates line, as you can see from photos, but once you actually see it in person, it's much more impressive. The paint and deco on this figure is perfection. With the sculpts being nearly identical, The new Paint app highlights some amazing details I never even noticed in the original. Muckman and Joe Eyeball really pop off the display shelf and are an awesome complement to the TMNT Ultimates line. So there you have it. That's my favorite figure of 2022. And Kirk, thanks again for letting me participate. I'm really excited to see everyone else's favorite pickups for 2022. Thanks, guys.
What's going on, everyone? This is Dwayne Shoots Toys, and I'm here to share my favorite figure of 2022, which is this guy right here, the Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse figure by Hot Toys. This is an absolutely gorgeous figure. It looked like it stepped right out of the movie into my hands. And one of the things that I really appreciate about this figure is the fact that you can modify its appearance by swapping parts in and out. So you have quite a bit of flexibility to create several different looks. For example, you can take this head sculpt, remove the hair, and then replace it with the mask, and it looks completely different. The only downside of this figure is the fact that they didn't acquire the Nike license for the sneakers, so I had to do a bit of customization in order to make them look like they do in the movie. But aside from that, in my opinion, this figure is perfect. I've used it already in some of my toy photography, and I definitely plan to take more shots with this figure in the future. If you're looking for a 1/6 scale Miles Morales figure, I highly recommend this one by Hot Toys.
Hello there, gang. This is David here from Displaying Model Behavior, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, let's talk toys. Let's talk about my #1 favorite action figure of 2022. You know what? There's a whole lot to choose from, and it's so difficult to pick just one, but for the case of this video, boom! Renew Your Vows, Spider-Man. This, dare I say, is the absolutely quintessential Spider-Man until they bring out the next quintessential Spider-Man. But just for now, for this brief window of time, this is the dude that holds that lofty honor, because just look at him. How could you actually improve upon this version of Spider-Man? Well, considering that I'm holding him here with a head swap, that's one thing you can do. I've got my Sensational Spider-Man Ben Reilly head on here because I want the bigger eyes for the Sensational one. However, just saying that goes to show what a great head sculpt that is that this guy comes with, because I love those big 90s Spider-Man eyes. Couple that up with a completely chef's kiss pinless body that just articulates so beautifully, even with the little toe articulation on there as well, which is something I didn't even think that I needed or wanted in my action figures until I got it. And now I'm like, wow, yeah, that's just the gold standard right there. So there you go, Hasbro. Double thumbs up for this one. This figure right here displays model behavior. Thanks very much for having me on the show, guys. Back to you.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Kevin. You can find me on Instagram at Toying Around, same for YouTube and Twitch. And my favorite toy for 2022 is this Monkey King from NECA Studios. It's a third-party company out of Asia. Monkey King is one of my favorite characters. It's the character on my logo. He's got multiple heads, a whole bunch of hand swaps. He has his staff, and then there's a staff that's curved, so it's like a bending attack action. The soft goods are awesome. NECA makes really great articulation on their figures, so that's one of my favorites of 2022. Thanks, Kirk.
Yo, what's up, guys? High School Creations, High School Mike here on the Geek Effect with my top 2 figures. I know that's very limited, but top 2 figures for 2022. Or was that intentional? Here we go. From Bandai, the Star Wars reimagined figures, the Ronin Mandalorian. This figure is dope, highly detailed, got great paint apps, articulated, great accessories. Came as a 2-pack with Grogu. Dope figure. It also scales well with my next figure, which is the new release Venom. This is on the Omega Red body, but the new release Venom from the 3-pack without the ports in the back. Topic for the enablers. But those are my 2 favorite figures for this year: Ronin, Mandalorian, and the new comic Venom. Dope figures. Thanks, guys.
Hey everybody out there, my name is Kyle Wlodyga, aka Wlodyga Dude, aka Kyle of Loot, or Kyle of Flute. If you know, you know. And I'm here to talk about my favorite figure of 2022 here on Geek Effect. And it is none other than this guy right here, the Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse Hot Toy. Look at this guy, 6-scale figure. He's got all this awesome articulation. He moves so well. The sockets don't get in the way. The suit is a nice material that'll never crack. never break, never do anything that you don't want it to do. It's really, really great. I love it. It feels so nice. The joints are really solid. Soft goods are beautiful. All the paint detail is immaculate. I love this guy. He can do all these awesome spider poses that you want him to do, and he can just literally do anything. Like you'll believe a figure can fly if you get this guy. I mean, look at this thing. He can fall. He can do all this cool, awesome Spider-Man stuff that you want him to do. I love this figure so much that I bought him shoes. The shoes that he comes with are, unlicensed. I mean, these are too, but I got ones that are slightly closer to the actual Jordans that he wore in the movie. So I'm very, very excited about this guy, and I can see myself changing him up more often than I do most of my figures. You sort of get that one figure and you kind of put in that pose that you really like and put it up on the shelf, and then you'll come back to it every now and then. But this guy, I haven't been able to put down much over the course of the year. So I'm very, very excited about him. Makes me very excited about the new movie that's coming, and what other awesome kind of spider figures we're gonna get from that line. So my figure of the year is this Hot Toys Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse. What's yours?
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Peter here from Peter Wheels. Just wanted to talk about my favorite figure for 2022. That is The Last Ronin. This figure is amazing. Couldn't ask for a better figure. He is very comic accurate. He's got every piece of detail that you would want in this figure. He comes with it. I mean, from Raphael's size to Leonardo's sword, Donatello's bow, and Michelangelo's nunchucks. Articulation is what you would expect from a NECA figure, but in this case, can't complain, man. It's really, really good. The paint apps are awesome, and all the accessories are just ridiculous. He comes with this, I don't know if you can see it here. It's got like a string kind of backpack thing. I don't know the exact words for it. That you can put all the some of the accessories on, and he's awesome. He's amazing. Couldn't ask for a better figure. With that being said, there is also, so this is the armored version, which is just ridiculous, amazing. But there is also the unarmored version, which I haven't opened up yet, but he is just freaking awesome as well. I haven't opened them up, but I will. Same thing, comes with crazy amount of accessories. So I would say I probably have a double favorite for 2022, armored and unarmored The Last Ronin. Also wanted to give a big shout out to the Geek Effect for asking me to do this. It's a little hesitant at first. I was a little camera shy, but thanks for asking me to do this, and I hope you do this every year. Thanks, man.
Peace, 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 y'all. It's your boy Action Figgy Skinny, and here I am on the Geek Effect with my favorite fig of 2022. So, without further ado, we about to see what's in this box. Alright, and this is what he looks like fresh out the packaging. This Black Panther from the Atuma wave comes on the new Vulcan body that was released this year on the X-Men wave Vulcan. Or was that? Yeah, that was the X-Men wave Vulcan. But either way, so this fig, he looks great. Very, very, very basic. He has a matted black paint to him with some touches of light heather gray on the gloves and boots, which kind of add that kind of classic look mixed with the Hickman look. And to me, I think this is awesome. This looks really, really good. He doesn't come with much in terms of accessories, so he comes with basically this and two claw hands that you'll see here in front of the camera. I'm going to show him with these on very, very soon. And yeah, that's basically it. I would have loved for him to come with a T'Challa head. That would have put this into the 10 on 10 category, but I'm cool with what we have, and yeah, I'm down. I think it's great. It's great. So as I mentioned before, here he is with his two-fisted hat that he came with, and here he is with the second set of hands he came with, which are the kind of claw-like based hands that look quite awesome. So in terms of articulation, looking great. His head is on an old school ball joint, and it looks up that much, which is fantastic. Looks down that much, which is great. The arms go up and have a swivel and rotate 360. You can't do much with the cape, but you can take the cape off. Butterfly wings actually work very well on this. As you can see, double jointed elbows like so, double jointed knees like so, as you can see. And yeah, this fig, probably for me, one of the best uses of the Vulcan body I've seen so far. And I mean, we haven't even gotten this body for that much longer, or I mean for that long, but he just looks good. And he poses great with the other Avengers, and he just looks great by himself. So this fig, to me, 9 out of 10. Only 1 point missing because it didn't get the T'Challa head. But if it did, this would have been perfect. Once again, your boy, Action Figgy Skinny. This has been the Geek Effect. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.
Hey, my name's Jeff. I do 6-minute reviews or less. You can find me on YouTube under Jeff McElwee. Today we're talking about Azrael. What do you get when you cross over a sociopath, a corrupt city, a legend of a mantle, and a brainwashed moron? You get Azrael Batman, or Azbats as he's called. Popular in the 90s, Bruce Wayne had his back broken, he needed a replacement, so he got John Paul Valley, a relatively unknown vigilante, to take over as Batman for him. And as you can see, Mafex did an excellent version of him in figure form. So let's go over the facts. Alternate head sculpt, check. There's John Paul Valley without the mask on. Shooty effects, double check. Shuriken fired from his gauntlets. Multiple hands, hell yeah, check. Grappling hook that pegs into the gauntlet, you betcha. Fully wired cloak for dynamic posing, you got it. This figure is 1 in a million in my opinion, and one of my favorite versions of Batman. As you can see, this figure can have a couple dynamic poses. We had him kicking up in a minute. This is a great figure. I highly recommend him, and that's why he's my figure of the year.
Yo, MCU Collector here with the Geek Effect to talk about my favorite figures from 2022. Now, there's a lot of figures that came out this year. It was hard to kind of pick one, so I have a couple of them here. The first one is going to be because Spider-Man had a big year for Marvel Legends. It is the 60th anniversary, Beyond Amazing Spider-Man. So there was a 2-pack that released of Renew Your Vows. So we got Spinneret, Mary Jane, and we got Spider-Man, of course. It was all fully pinless. He's even got toe articulation. Just an awesome figure. But what I'm really excited about is because the Renew Your Vows is a great storyline, and I think that gets us a little bit closer to getting a Regent figure. So Hasbro, if you're listening, please give us a Regent figure. We need him. He was awesome. But this Spider-Man is pretty damn amazing. And not only that, a great year for Marvel Legends. We had the Retro X-Men Wave Spiral figure that released, fully pinless, double jointed elbows on a female figure, bicep swivel, and there's 6 arms. This is an amazing figure that Hasbro absolutely knocked it out of the park. And it's going to be a big favorite for a lot of you guys, and it's probably going to be my figure of the year. As great as this Spider-Man is, this Spiral figure is ridiculously good, and I can't wait for everybody to get their hands on it. This is an awesome figure. It shows what Hasbro can really do, and they executed it so well with 6 different arms and everything like that. Truly a great figure. But 2022 has been a massive year for Marvel Legends. We got some great figures, and it was hard to pick a few of them, but these are definitely amongst my favorite for 2022.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Wade Merrick from Unparalleled Universe, and for my Action Figure Rewind 2022 selection, I have chosen the Mezco 112 Collective Spider-Man 2099. And I absolutely love this figure. Mezco straight up killed it in pretty much every aspect of this guy. He's got some really well done soft goods that are durable, so you could still pose them around and have some fun with it. The sculpted detail is absolutely ridiculous. The neck, the hands, and the head have some really impressive texture. The accessories are ridiculous as well. He comes with an unmasked Miguel O'Hara head. He comes with his AI. He comes with a bunch of different hands. All kinds of great stuff. Mezco straight up killed it on Miguel O'Hara, and I love to see it because we don't have a bunch of options for Spider-Man 2099. Marvel Legends made one, but it's not very good, and then Mezco, and that's pretty much it. I expect that to change in the coming years because, you know, he's gonna appear in the Spider-Verse sequel, so I'm sure we'll see a bunch of companies doing Spider-Man 2099, and I just cannot wait. But for now, I'm super happy to have this awesome version given to us by Mezco. They straight up killed it. And I wouldn't say that this is like my #1 figure of 2022, but he's definitely in the top 10, and I just wanted to show him some love on the Action Figure Rewind. So huge shout out to Geek Effect. You've been killing it in the last year. Keep doing your thing. I look forward to seeing you grow and watch your channel blow up. Happy holidays. Peace.
Hey, what's up guys? So it's E. Rivera here on the Geek Effect, showing you my favorite figure of the year. It's actually one that just recently got released. This is the Bandai Tamashii SH Figuarts Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. You can see how fantastic he came out. I could not be happier. I love the shading on the pants. I love the sculpt. The faces came out perfect. The hair came out perfect. Everything about it. We get the nice 3.0 articulation for the legs. I'm actually glad it took this long for us to get this figure, because we got him on the most updated butt, on the most updated tech that they use for their figure. So it's the best version of Vegeta Super Saiyan 4. And this is a character that I never thought we would get, a transformation I never thought we would get. As soon as they released Super Saiyan 4 Goku, then I knew this guy was on the table for sure, and here he is finally almost a year later after the release of Goku, and the wait was so worth it because he's my favorite character right here. And I love Dragon Ball GT, unlike most other people. You know, it's not a popular opinion, but I do love Dragon Ball GT even though it's not canon, and I especially love the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, and I love SH Figuarts. So everything that I love is all right here in this release, and this is why this figure is my favorite figure of 2022.
Yo, what's up guys? I'm Dan, big Marvel Legends collector, right? For 2022 we had a lot of Marvel Legends figures, so to be honest, trying to find one figure, one item was really difficult. For me, I think though, one standout item that was for 2022 was this Renew Your Vows 2-pack that had a super articulated Spider-Man and a Spinneret. So for me, Spider-Man is honestly one of my favorite characters in Marvel lore, and he honestly was one of my favorite action figures when I was growing up. So for me especially, this pack means a lot because I had to bug, you know, Dwight and the rest of the development team to really add in those articulated toes. And yeah, just being able to influence and see how my annoying can get to product is always going to be a special memory for me. And so yeah, for me, this 2-pack here, Renew Your Vows 2-pack, it's been my favorite item for Marvel Legends in 2022. Hopefully everyone ends 2022 with only blessings, and hope to see everybody in 2023. Alright, peace out.
Hey guys, it's Daniel Espinoza, aka Boondocks01 on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Before I get started, I just want to give a big shout out to the Geek Effect. I think everyone can agree with me when we say the Geek Effect took this community by storm this year. The Geek Effect, Kirk, your content, your quality, your creativity, your ideas, they're awesome and they're amazing, and they surprised the heck out of me when I first found you on social media, and I'm glad to have gotten to know you and talk to you over these last couple months. You are a great artist and a great creator, and I can't wait to see what you do in 2023. Thank you for hosting the first ever Figure Rewind. Speaking of that, for my figure, I'm going to choose the Unique Toys third party Nero, aka Age of Extinction Galvatron. I know this design has a sour taste in some people's mouth, but I like this design. There's just always something special about it to me, but this figure is absolutely amazing. You have great paint, sculpt, detail, and some awesome articulation to lead to some superposable poses for this masterpiece type transformer. Unique Toys absolutely kills it. I love these figures so much. They do get on the pricey side, but I think they are worth every single penny. This figure is just awesome, and I'm so excited to see the future of the company. If they make any more characters, please make a Bumblebee. I need a Bumblebee fast, but man, this figure was awesome. It took me by storm. It's not even my #1 figure of the year, but I just had to showcase it. If you're a Transformers fan and you don't know what Unique Toys is, you should get on this train. Save up, especially if you like the movie figures and the Bayformers. This is gonna be your top priority and your top company, in my respectful opinion. So anyways, this figure is awesome. This figure is amazing. I loved it a lot, and I can't wait to hopefully get more. Either ways, I hope all of y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you again, the Geek Effect. And everyone just have some safe and travels and happy holidays. Peace.
Hello everyone, my name is Desmond, or you may know me as Des.collects on TikTok. And before I get started, I just want to give a big shout out to my boy Kirk, the Geek Effect, for having me here on this video. This is a really big honor, bro. I really appreciate you. But let's get right to the figures. So 2022 was a big year for action figures, huge year for collectors. And I think there's one company that stood out for me personally, and that's Mafex, of course. I love Mafex, that's my favorite action figure company. And they had a lot of bangers. They released the big 3 this year. They released Comic Iron Man this year. But the one figure that stood out to me personally was the Mafex The Boys figure, specifically Homelander. That is my #1 figure of 2022. They killed it on this guy. You can really tell that they put a lot of love into this figure. From the cape on the back, it's actually made out of real flag material. From the sculpting, they got every little detail on his suit that you can ask for. The articulation leaves a little bit to be desired, but that's expected from certain Mafex figures. I kind of wish he had a little bit more articulation, but what can you do? The sculpting is perfect in my opinion. They even give you an extra little flat piece on his chest to interchange it. And you get all the hands that you need. You get 3 head sculpts. One being this perfect Anthony Starr head sculpt right here. Man, just look at that. That's perfect. That's him. I'm holding Homelander in my hand. But yeah, anyways, that's my #1 figure of 2022, the Mafex Homelander figure. That's all I have. This is the best figure of 2022.
What's up everybody, it's the Lethal Collector, or also known as Lethal from TikTok, and I'm here on the Geek Effect to show you my favorite figure of 2022. Now the figure I went with is none other than the Mafex Endgame Captain America, and I know this might be a little objective for people since he is known to have many QC issues, but mine personally came as perfect as can be. Just the details on this guy alone sell it for me. Now this suit being my favorite suit that Captain America has worn in the movies, and him being my favorite Avenger, this is just everything that I wanted. And the details alone is enough, but like the way this guy poses and all the accessories that he comes with too is just amazing. It's everything you want in an action figure of Captain America, let alone the MCU version of Chris Evans. Really hope they make the stealth suit version. That'll probably be my favorite of that year whenever it comes out. Hopefully soon, but my Mafex probably a couple years. But yeah, just here's a little simple pose. Nothing too crazy. Centerpiece of the Endgame display, and a must-have for anybody who likes Captain America or enjoyed Endgame. He also comes with a hammer right here. But yes, that is my favorite figure. Shout out to the Geek Effect for hosting this figure rewind. Just catch you guys later.
What's up guys, this is Capalives coming at you here with my favorite figure 2022. Shout out to the Geek Effect for putting this all together. And where do I even begin? 2022 was such a great year for figures, between G.I. Joe, Legends, Black Series, all the import lines like the Robotech My Hero Academia stuff. But for me, it's going to be a re-release, and I'm so glad this company re-released this figure. It's going to be the Mafex Hush storyline Superman. I'm a big Superman fan. I've been wanting a good Superman figure for years, and I missed the initial release of the Hush Superman. I was really bummed out. But then luckily I found out that they were going to do a re-release, and I jumped on that joint so quick. I got it early January 2022. And if you look at my Instagram page, it's just full of Superman photos, man. We got Superman and Lex Luthor stuff, you got Superman and Batman stuff, Superman like being, you know, just the everyday great hero that he is. The articulation is so good on it. The accessories are really nice. The cape is really nice. I hope Mafex keeps giving us more Superman content. Alright guys, peace.
What's up, y'all? I'm Nico, aka Artman Customs, dropping in on the Geek Effect to share my favorite action figure of 2022, which is Mythic Legion's Lord Bardrick. This is a newer addition to my collection, but it's a really dope figure and it's got some sentimental value to it. So it beat out every other figure for my top slot of the year, and here's why. The sculpt work on him is absolutely phenomenal. Whether it's the leather texture, the cloth texture, or the metal texture, it's all on point, and it comes together to make a really beautiful figure. He's also loaded with weapons. He has this big old sword. He comes with a big old axe. He comes with a bow with actual elastic. He comes with an arrow for the bow and a quiver as well as the typical Mythic Legions strap. So whether you want him to be a ranger or a melee fighter, you're not gonna have any issues. Speaking of being a melee fighter, I love that he has the up and down hinges, because every melee fighter should have them, and it's a really welcome addition to the line. In terms of sentimental value, it's the first figure I got at Legions Con, and that was just a great weekend where I got to meet up with community buddies and get inspired and just meet new people. Every time I look at this figure, I remember that weekend. The green of his shirt, green was my favorite color as a kid, and I'm pretty sure I had a long sleeve exactly like it when I was a kid, just a really rough texture, but a really bright green. And then the orange to his pants, it's absolutely beautiful, and it reminds me of my dearly deceased great uncle Gary's house, where I spent many a day with my mom and cousins and my uncle Gary. So I really love that. And then just a little bit of NECA trivia. I was born with pointy ears like an elf, so Bardrick, a black elf with braids, a must-have for me. How could you not love him? But that's all for me. Thank you, Kirk, for having me on, and remember, imagination is the fabric of life. Peace.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice, and I'm here on the Geek Effect to share my favorite figure of 2022. Now, to keep it real, I don't know that this is my absolute favorite figure on the year, but it's absolutely one of my favorites on the year. 90% of my purchases are about displaying. So it's all about articulated comic book art for me. Figures that are gonna look good on camera, that I'll be able to photograph, and I think that this figure lends well to that. So it's gonna be the Marvel Legends Attuma Build-A-Figure Wave Black Panther figure. I think this is our best comic-based Black Panther to date. It's on a great buck. It's on the newly introduced Vulcan buck from the Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure Wave. It's a great stature for Black Panther, good articulation, interchangeable hands. Probably my only gripe is that he didn't come with an unmasked head, but it's a very, very clean figure and absolutely good for display. So one of my top 10s, or one of my top figures on the year, Black Panther.
Hey yo, my name is Matt, also known as Amusing King on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. For my figure of the year, I'm gonna keep it simple. It's this Black Series Death Watch Mandalorian from Hasbro. First off, the design is a huge upgrade, and the articulation is very good for a Black Series figure. It can do almost everything that you would want him to do. And the design is so clean. I really love the blue paint, and it has like a matte finish almost. Another cool thing about these guys is they're great for customizing. So whether you're just painting the armor like I did here, or you're using it as a base figure for a Mandalorian custom, like it's a really great figure overall. And it's not that expensive.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Mikey's Action Figures, and today I'm telling you guys my favorite figure of 2022. And drum roll, my favorite figure is the Walmart exclusive animated series Spider-Man. And you guys know, if you grew up in the 90s, you gotta love this figure. Right when I saw them like announcing this figure, I was like, dude, I have to have it. I have to put it in my collection, especially because I love Spider-Man. And when you love Spider-Man, you pretty much kind of feel like you have to get everything Spider-Man. And that's what I'm doing. But at the same time, I had to make sure I got this figure to also go with my Venom cell shaded. That's also kind of animated series related as well. And not only does he go with the Venom, but he also goes with my Scorpion. He goes with a bunch of my other villains. So I had to pick him up. I had to get him. And definitely when it comes to animated series, this guy's a must. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna have this guy on their like #1 of their top 10 list in those 2022 videos that you guys are gonna see on YouTube. And you know, if I'm being honest, growing up watching the animated series, I loved all of the stories, all of the characters, and I had to kind of put this on my shelf and make sure that I had this in figure form because of how awesome it was and how nostalgic the show and this figure is for me. I also took the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man feet, so he does have a toe hinge, so I had to add that there. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely my most anticipated figure of the year, and I'm so glad to have it. And I know a lot of people are going to stores, all the Walmarts they could go to try to find them. And I got them a little early, courtesy of some comic shops. But dude, this is definitely a must pick up, and this is definitely my favorite figure of the year. So thank you guys, and until the next one, let's get it.
What's up, good folks? This your boy Plastic Addict. My boy Geek Effect asked me to put something down for the top 10. This is my top 10, and I'm doing it a little bit different. I collect about 15 lines. So you're gonna see essentially top ones, 10 top ones. All right, so starting with 10, and we're working to number one. And you can catch me on YouTube at Plastic Addict or on Instagram, Plastic_Addict81. Let's get it. Coming in at number 10, it is none other than Macho Man Randy Savage, and he's from the Mattel line. Coming in at number 9, it is the Autobot Blaster from Hasbro's Transformer division. And coming in at number 8, it is none other than Usagi Jimbo from the NECA line, representing NECA. All right, coming in at number 7, we have Violator, representing the McFarlane line. Coming in at number 6, representing the SHF DBZ line, we have Cell First Form Edition, representing the third-party companies. This is by Felix Toys, and they naming him Inkblot. Original name is Rorschach, but he is the number 5. Number 4, representing Marvel Legends, we have none other than Iron Spidey. Number 3 from Mafex, The Dark Knight Returns Superman. All right, we are at number 2, Infinity Saga, Mark 47 from 3-0, Iron Man, accompanied by the Hulkbuster right behind him, also from 3-0. And my number 1 figure of 2022 is none other than Serpentor. Just so many feels and emotions goes into when I look at this figure and how well it's done. It's from Hasbro G.I. Joe division, and he is definitely my number 1. Now, if you want to see me explain more in depth on why things got placed the way they got placed, please follow me on my YouTube channel. I will go into an in-depth 15-minute review of my actual top 10. And the list will change because I'm getting figures in as we speak. Be patient with yourself, be patient with your hunts, and if you're patient enough, even an egg can and will grow legs. It's your boy Plastic Addict. Catch you next time. Plastic Addict out.
Hello, my name's Jacob, aka Jacob's Toys, and I've been asked to share my favourite figure of 2022 here on the Geek Effect. And I must admit, it was a difficult choice. There's been a lot of good figures this year. There's been a few bad ones, let's be perfectly honest, but there have been a lot of good figures. I kind of thought the process through and sort of, if I had to pick one, what would it be? So I just went with my gut. I went with the one that I think I was most excited for when I opened it up, and that's kind of solely what I've based my judgment on. So at the time of filming this, my favourite figure of 2022 is this. It's the Diamond Select Carnage figure. And this is, it's just a really nice figure. The details are good on it. There's a lot of accessories. You've got this really cool back piece that's kind of all fully articulated as well. Yeah, it's just a really, really nice figure. It's just, I'm a big fan of Carnage, big fan of Venom and Carnage. And I think this is just my favourite version of Carnage that's out there. Oh, it's getting me in focus. Yeah, it's just a really cool figure. And he's still readily available from Diamond Select Toys. He comes with a whole bunch of accessories as well, which is always a plus. So you've got kind of this like cool head here that's kind of got this like long neck, and you've got some other heads. You've got like a Cletus head as well that's kind of half and half. And of course you've got the typical kind of blades anyway. So yeah, so my favourite figure of 2022 at time of filming is this Carnage figure from Diamond Select Toys. Thanks very much, Geek Effect. Thanks for including me. I'll see you soon.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Brock the Collector here, coming back to you in Geek Effect's video, which I am honored to be, included in this collaboration with all these great fellow YouTubers. It feels weird to say that because I never really considered myself one. I just love uploading videos and, sharing this love with the rest of y'all. But my favorite figure of 2022, at least one of my favorites, is definitely this Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure from the Marvel Legends line. I mean, shoot, Ultron, my favorite Marvel villain, you put some Infinity Stones on him, it just multiplies my love for him by infinity. I absolutely loved this design from the What If show. I just think it's absolutely amazing. Getting the What If wave last year was also one of my favorite waves of all time, sometime in a while. And just having this figure here, maybe not sometime in a while, but it was just a good wave, and I enjoyed it. And the style of that, and just to have this figure finally, it's surreal, man. Getting this announced all those months ago, it paid off, man. I really think that this is just an absolutely amazing Build-A-Figure. Always remember to be the best, and happy holidays.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Sonny from the Sonny channel. Most of y'all might recognize my hands, how I manipulate figures. My figure, or best figure of 2022. It was a tough decision, kinda. We had some good entries in there. There wasn't anything that just stood out like last year's The Hood, figure of the year 2021 right there. We had several. We had Buzz Lightyear from SH Figure Arts. The Lizard from Marvel Legends was a good one. Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. But the one that I gotta go with has to be the Hazlab itself, Galactus. And no, it's not just because my wife told me, because of the amount of money I spent on it, that I have to put this as my favorite figure. I really do like this figure. It's really dope. It's massive. It also does whatever I want it to do. Like if I was into dolls, I'd want all my dolls to be like Galactus. And I only compare them to dolls because dolls are normally this big. But Galactus right here is a dope figure. I'm glad that it got to me safely. I don't trust FedEx all the time, but it did get to me safely. It's a really cool figure. Came with 3 additional figures and stuff like that. We had to wait a while for it, so I think that's kind of what made it even more special. When it finally came in, I felt like a little kid on Christmas time again, which is cool because my wife is gonna probably rewrap this, and I get to have that Christmas feeling all over again on Christmas Day for Galactus. Just put bricks in there, make it be heavy. Kids think something's in there. I'll shake it, be like, oh, thank y'all so much. But yeah, Galactus, Marvel Legends Hazlab, figure of the year 2022, in my opinion. Your opinion might be different. It's probably wrong. Galactus 2022, figure of the year.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Dario, aka 80s Baby. I got invited by the Geek Effect to make this video of my favorite figure of 2022. And my favorite fig for this year was the SH Figure Arts Buzz Lightyear from the movie that came out this year also. When I saw this fig, I wanted it, but I didn't pull the trigger on it, right? And then by the time I did, it was too late. It was like pretty much sold out everywhere. After I saw the movie, it made me want it more because I really enjoyed that movie. It was great. You know, I've been a fan of Toy Story for years. And then so this one, you know, I was gonna watch it. Luckily for me, Brandon, aka Supreme Collector on Facebook, he ended up putting a second batch that went up that he was able to get, and I got my hands on one. And it has to be one of the figures that, you know, I like the most out of everything I've gotten this year. I collect a lot of stuff, different brands. My main go-to is NECA TMNT, but every time I get something, I'll mess with it for a little bit and then throw it, you know, just throw it back in the bin. But this has been fun to play with. It's awesome. It looks so good. It brings a ton of accessories. He has different faceplate, a head sculpt. I mean, you know, with the one without the mask, the jetpack, the wings, you know, the blade is one of the cool things, the removable helmet. But overall, this is such a great figure. It was just as good as a movie it was the figure. You know, I enjoyed both a lot. But yeah, I haven't been able to put it down, and I actually took a photo of it. And yeah, hopefully, you know, we get the airplane soon. But this has been my figure of the year.
What's up, everybody? My name is Trevor16_shooter on Instagram, 16shooter right here on YouTube, and this is my Figure Rewind 2022 figure of the year. Now, as the photographer for Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, some people say I'm contractually obligated to select the figure of the year that I have. but they'd be wrong. I collect a lot of stuff. I collect Mezco. I collect Hot Toys. You can see that here. Black Series, Marvel Legends, Vintage Collection, Super 7, all sorts of stuff. NECA. But my figure of the year happens to be from the Four Horsemen Studios, and it is the Figure Obscura Headless Horseman figure. This is just a beautiful thing right here. They dropped this in October, the beginning of October, and had it in everybody's hands by October 31st, which was just awesome. The pumpkin sculpt there, the flaming pumpkin sculpt. There's another pumpkin sculpt that doesn't have the flame. Even the insert on his, his head to show what's left of the neck and spine there. A great detail. Just like, you didn't even need to throw that in, but it's great. The wired cape, beautiful wired cape. And this horse, come on, this horse, $120. You get two figures and a horse. You get a figure and a horse, two figures in one set here, with the red eyes, the red fiery hooves. It's just incredible, man. I've seen this hitting a lot of people's top 10s for the year. Kind of took the toy world by storm for a couple of days there. And yeah, that's it. That's my 2022 figure of the year, the Figure Obscura Headless Horseman from Four Horsemen Studios. See you next year.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I'm Artwittoyz, and I'm here to talk to you today about my favorite figure of 2022. And when Hasbro Marvel Legends revealed this figure, I knew I had to have it, even though it was a simple repaint. The reason why is because he came in a classic colorway that reminded me of a pretty popular video game as well as an awesome 90s cartoon. So with my pick of my favorite figure for the 2022 Figure Rewind, I selected Hasbro Marvel Legends Retro Style Modular Iron Man. And the reason why I picked this guy, again, is because he came with that classic red and yellow colorway, multiple helmeted head sculpts, an unhelmeted head sculpt that had a pretty sweet mullet, multiple change of hands and effects. Effects that you could plug into his repulsors, as well as his arc reactor. This figure was already pretty sweet in the original paint, but when it was repainted to this, it knew I had to have it. And I got this guy pretty early. Not only did he come with all those sweet accessories, but he also came with this giant proton cannon. And now he can't hold this thing by himself without a little help, but it's still pretty awesome. And I added a bunch of old blue repulsor blast into the cannon's barrels to kind of give it a little more of an effect. Yeah, when this guy was announced and I got him, I knew I had to have him, and I got him in hand and he didn't disappoint. I had a ton of fun taking pictures of this guy, posing him next to my retro style War Machine, and doing a review. And that's why I picked the Marvel Legends Retro Style Modular Iron Man as my favorite figure of 2022.
Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? Welcome to my Toy Rewind of 2022. Now take yourself back to July of this year when this figure first came out. And the figure I'm talking about, it didn't change the hierarchy of the cinematic universe or the DC universe. For that fact of the matter, DC universe is pretty much gone. Say a prayer for them, y'all. But the figure I'm talking about, of course, is none other than that's right, the McFarlane DC Multiverse Black Adam movie figure. And as I mentioned, it didn't necessarily perform well in the box office. It did transition well in figure form, in my opinion. And after having seen that post-credit scene, spoilers, 2 months later, you might not be able to see them on the big screen anymore. You can see them on your shelf, especially if you have the Snyder Cut Justice League Target exclusive blue and red suit Superman and your Black Adam movie figure. The fun factor is definitely there. As a huge wrestling fan growing up, and the nostalgia of watching pro wrestling and seeing The Rock and how he's transitioned into this mega star, and especially in Hollywood, it's still surreal to see him in a superhero movie, or for those purists out there, I'm sorry, a comic book movie. Definitely a lot of fun factor when it comes to this figure. Easily one of McFarlane best head sculpts in terms of live action figures. The articulation is great, and it looks like the freaking Rock. So there you have it, YouTubers, my Toy Rewind of 2022, and easily my favorite figure of the year. And I also want to say a huge thank you to Kirk from the Geek Effect for inviting me to share my Toy Rewind of 2022 One of the best things this year was meeting the Geek Effect himself, Kirk. So I want to say thank you again, and thanks for having me on the Geek Effect.
What's up, everybody? This is PL_Toybox_Photography, and I want to go ahead and just let you all know my two favorite toy lines of 2022. First one is by Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions. The second one is Lone Coconut's Plunderlings. Both these figures, or both these toy lines, give you so many opportunities to do so many things with them. The Mythic Legions have so many options to pop and swap amongst all the figures they have in their category to make unique customs. And there's also a lot of third-party companies that create some amazing 3D printed head sculpts, weapons, accessories that you can get to make some awesome and unique customs. And there's just so much fun to photograph and play around with. Same thing with the Plunderlings. They're just so much fun to play around with. I always have them near me at my desk, you know, ready for me to just go ahead and grab a hold of one, just to, you know, pose around and just have some fun with them, just to figure out what my next shot with them are going to be. Same thing with the Mythic Legions. I always have a few with me, especially the ones that I plan to shoot. That way I can figure out their posing, what weapons I'm going to use on them, if I'm going to pop and swap some parts, you know, to make a unique character and to tell a unique story. They're just so much fun to photograph. And these by far are my favorite toy lines of 2022. I couldn't just narrow it down to one figure, so I wanted to go ahead and just let you all know my two favorite toy lines. And these are amazing figures, and I highly recommend you all get some of these if you don't have any. They're so much fun to play around with and photograph. They offer so much versatility, and they're amazing. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you all next time. Laters.
Hi all, it's No.Chewing, and today I'm on the Geek Effect to talk about my favorite toy of 2022. To those that follow me, it will be no surprise which toy I'm going to bring up. I've taken many photos of him and spoken about how much I really dig this toy, and it is the Marvel Legends VHS Wolverine, exclusive to Hasbro Pulse and the Disney Store online. It is inspired by the X-Men, the animated series from the 90s. And I dig everything about this figure. You know, it's a repaint, but they updated the colors. They gave it this cool cell shading. I do like cell shading. I think it's cool. I dig it. And then they gave him a classic 90s Wolverine head sculpt with the long ears, which I think are fantastic. You know, the reason why I like this figure so much, it simply reminds me of my childhood. I had this figure. I probably went through four of the same Toy Biz Wolverine. It was so cool. It had that cool swivel action that you could use with your thumb, but ultimately I broke the first three, and I believe that last one is very dusty in a box at my parents' house. But I really like that this came out this year. It brought me a lot of joy. It's one of my favorite figures to take with me on trips or just have on my desk. There's nothing else really to say. Awesome figure. Thanks Geek Effect for having me on for a couple minutes to talk about this Marvel Legends. Awesome. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? It's JShot. J's hot if you're getting cold in your stocking this year. I want to thank Kirk, aka the Geek Effect, for inviting me to participate in this year's 2022 collab, talking about our favorite figures of the year. And I gotta say that mine is definitely the Peter B. Sentinel Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse. It's kind of, to me, the pinnacle Spider-Man, right? He sits on my desk. He comes with a ton of accessories, different face sculpts. He's got the articulation to hit all those classic Spider-Man poses, but he also comes with some really awesome head sculpts that allow you to get a little bit more of that kind of fun comic book style, you know, and even some of that like touch of the 90s style that we grew up with the cartoon show. So I definitely would say that he is going to be my figure of the year. Even though I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, you might notice I'm a bigger Turtle fan. But he definitely ranks number one for me this year. So excited to see what everybody else thinks and what figures you guys like. And again, thanks to Kirk at the Geek Effect for giving me an invite. Have a great holiday, everybody.
Hi guys, my name is Daniel, and I have an Instagram account that goes by the name of the Cerejo. And I'm here on the Geek Effect to show you my favorite figure of 2022. It's been an amazing year for us action figure collectors. And this was not an easy pick for me, I must confess. You see here on the left another awesome action figure, the black suit Spider-Man from Mafex, and he could be my #1 pick, but at the end of the day I had to choose this version of Iron Man. It's the definitive version of this character for myself. We are talking about comic book characters and action figures, so I'm very pleased to say this is my definitive Iron Man. It looks like straight out of the comic books. To sum it all up, the fun factor is guaranteed with this action figure of Iron Man. The fact that Mafex can give you great articulation without sacrificing the aesthetic look of the figure is really outstanding. It looks like you're looking to a comic book page drawn by Bob Layton. Here you can see the action figure of Iron Man interacting with a Marvel Legends figure, in this case Dr. Doom from the Retro Collection, and it seems like you're reading a Doom Quest story arc. This is my action figure of 2022. Shout out to Kirk from the Geek Effect for inviting me, and keep collecting, guys.
Yo soy Plateadicto, and this is my favorite figure for 2022. Whoop! This year, the folks of Felix Toys delivered their version of Rorschach from the movie Watchmen on the 1/12 scales with soft good clothes, and it looks incredible. It's all full of details, starting from the coat, from the trench coat. It all has its buttons. The weathering of the trench coat itself is amazing, but let's start from the shoes, from the bottom down. Those shoes look like they were made from leather, but they're not. They're plastic shoes. The fabric for the pants looks so real, and the lines straight down, they nail it. The color, everything looks on its place, looks amazing. The trench coat weather is like I've never seen before on this scale. Is so well done. The bottoms, the fabric, also little scarf here. Everything on this figure is on point. Of course, the masks and the hat is flawless. Man, it looks so real. Also, the plastic on the face looked like it was a mask, and that is always a plus. Of course, it's not perfect. The wire on the belt from the coat tends to get out, but it's not a big deal. You could use a little glue and it's all done and good. Of course, it would be Rorschach if you hadn't different faces for inspiration for the mask, the hat, and a Walter Kovac head, a bunch of hands, and every accessory you need to recreate any iconic scene from the movie or even the comic book. So you're gonna be well set up with the accessory department and then some. Honestly, it's one of the better figures I have gotten in recent years compared with any brand or any character. This is one I needed to get on my collection, and Felix Toy got it to the teeth with all the details, the accessories, and the feel of the figure itself. So I think they did justice to the character itself, and I'm pleased. That's it, guys. Merry Christmas and happy 2023.
Hi there. I'm playing with myself, aka Adam Van Wickler, and I'm here on the Geek Effect to share one of my favorite figures of 2022 with you guys. This is the Mattel Hammond Collection Jurassic World Tyrannosaurus Rex. This Tyrannosaurus Rex toy is the one you've always wanted. It's got an amazing amount of articulation, and even though it's technically 1/18th scale, you can definitely make it work in 1/12. I love this thing so much that I ended up braving the Mattel line at San Diego Comic-Con so I could get the repaint. Rawr. I'm wishing all of you guys an awesome 2023. Plus Ultra!
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cheney180 from the Toy Migos, here to share my favorite figure for the Geek Effect. So far, this Sasuke from SH Figuarts, I've not been able to put this thing down. I love this figure. This thing is just stellar. The articulation is absolutely amazing. I love it. It comes with all the accessories that you would need for him. You get a nice good crunch there. You've got this soft plastic here for the skirt pieces here, so moving the leg up for kicking poses is not an issue whatsoever. I mean, look at that. That's awesome. What more could you want? I mean, I was extremely happy when they brought the figure arts line, or the Naruto figure arts line, back, and even happier when they were able to, you know, bring this much articulation and engineering to the table. Like, they're not playing around with the Naruto SH figure arts line. So this right here is my figure of the year.
Pow and shout out the Geek Effect as always. My name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and whether you follow me on Instagram or subscribe to me on YouTube, Dan Who Reviews, then you know I love my Marvel Legends, and it's that time of year where we like to look back, reflect, and try and figure out what the best Marvel Legends of the year actually were. A figure rewind, if you will. Now, as you can see behind me, my displays are demolished as I try and compile my own top 10 for the end of the year, so I haven't quite figured out what my favourite figure is just yet, but today I do have a few contenders for your consideration. First up, shout out the Dan Who Blue Beast. Now, Blue Beast on the orange card back fills my nostalgic heart with love, so he is definitely worthy of a mention, and the lab coat is a nice touch as well. It's also been a great year for female Marvel Legends with the new double jointed pinless body with the double jointed pinless elbows. Now, how about a figure with 6 double jointed pinless elbows? Now, this spiral quite possibly could be not only the best female Marvel Legends of the year, but the best Marvel Legends of the year. Time will tell, but it's a great figure, and it being on the card back is just an icing on the cake. So Spiral is definitely worthy of consideration. Now, I do want to give the MCU some love as well, as I collect both comic and MCU. You are allowed. So I'm shouting out the Khonshu Build-A-Figure from the Moon Knight Disney Plus series. Now, this is a solid Build-A-Figure, a great representation of what essentially is a full CGI character, and they nailed it. Like, the size, the scale, when you can compare it to the actual Moon Knight figures on the shelf as well, like, if my camera will focus, then you can see for yourself, look how good they look together. Like, these 3 on the shelf together look so good. Like, all 3 of these could be in contention for best figure of the year. Well, maybe not Mr. Knight, let's get him out of the way, but these 2 definitely so. But I'm shouting out today the Khonshu Build-A-Figure. So shout out the Geek Effect. I love what you're doing with the figure rewind. Lots of Marvel Legends to talk about. But as always, my name is Dan W. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Subscribe to me on YouTube, Dan Who Reviews. Now back to the Geek Effects.
Well, I think those were some awesome picks for sure, especially those involving Spider-Man, because if he makes it into the list, that definitely gets a thumbs up from me, and it shows that you guys have some pretty good taste. I definitely want to thank each and every one of my guests for being a part of this year's Figure Rewind. It means the world to me that you guys took the time out of your day to be a part of this and make this project a success for me, because I wasn't really sure how well this was going to turn out or who all was going to be able to get involved, but it really did turn out to be a pretty awesome video and a successful project, especially for the first one. I also want to give a huge shout out to Dan Yoon for actually being a part of this as well, because I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out either, with this being the first one, and if I was going to be able to get him, but he sent over his clip, and it does mean the world to me, Dan, so huge thanks to you as well, and continue to do all the awesome work that you're doing over at Hasbro too. If you're watching this right now and you're not already following any of the participants in this year's Figure Rewind, be sure to go ahead and do so. Check out their YouTube channels, check out their Instagrams, their Twitters, their TikToks, wherever it is that they share their content and their love for this hobby. Be sure to show them some love right back, because everyone deserves support, and it definitely does allow us all to grow and to continue to enjoy this hobby as well. The reason I also put emphasis on this year's Figure Rewind, and this being the first one, is because I would love for this to be an annual thing. I think doing this at the end of each year would be a very unique thing for us to do here on the Geek Effect, and just something that everyone can look forward to, including myself, within the community, as something that we see each year at the end, and just a cool way for us all to celebrate everything that we experience within each year for the world of action figures. I just want to say thank you once more to each and every one of you, because you guys all played a part in making this year truly successful for the Geek Effect, and your support really does mean the world to me. I mean, this year we reached 1,000 subscribers in our first full year, which I think was truly awesome and definitely was a goal of mine to be able to hit that, and we did, which was awesome. We also reached 1,000 followers over on Instagram, and we're continuing to grow over there with that part of the community, which is awesome as well. Other things that I've been able able to work on throughout this year, whether it be, you know, posting more content and also being able to work a bit on my toy photography, which was one of the things that I think I was really trying to strive to do throughout this year, because it's something that I enjoy doing and I'm definitely trying to improve at it. And I think I've definitely been able to see some improvement with the photos and stuff that I take of the figures that I'm able to add to my collection. I do hope you all enjoyed this year's Figure Rewind, and if you did, be sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you guys are just coming across the Geek Effect, be sure to do so that you don't miss out on more content like this, and also the next Figure Rewind if we're able to do that, because I really do want to be able to do that as well. And also be sure to share this video as well so that more people will be able to watch this and be a part of this huge celebration. I hope all of you have a happy holiday as well as an amazing new year, and I hope to catch you all next time here on the Geek Effect. Peace out.